Hello, good morning, everyone. Brenda here at Blaster Works, and we are getting ready to do day 21 of our 10 minutes a day challenge from the Essence of Time challenge. And right now I'm just turning on my timer. Should have done that already, but I'm sorry about the glare. I did use a sealant to because these are like the children's spray thing was like watercolor. So there was no way I would be able to add anything else on top. And as you see, the sealant kind of, let's see if I can get where you kind of darkened up the colors a little bit. And I think it's because once it hit the black spray that was on here, the little spray droplets became a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? It still looks pretty cool up close. I wish I could show it to you guys up close, but I'll take a picture later. But it still looks nice and grungy. I like it. It just darkened the whole thing in general more than I had anticipated. Let's see. Let me get my timer set over here. Sorry. There we go. All right. So anyway, yeah, and I apologize for the glare. Even though I used a matte sealant, it's still shiny, very shiny. So all right. So then after this morning, when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, now we're going to just pretty much focus on the lines. And I thought, well, since I put a sealant on it, I don't think I'll be able to use this because the sealant is gonna kind of like beat up any kind of water. You know what I mean? So I could either sand it first and then put on a clear gesso, or we can try using a Sharpie paint marker and see. But the only thing with the paint markers, I don't want it dark black. I want it like a faded black. So I'm gonna have to, let's see. I think I'm gonna have a wet wipe ready, and we'll just do a little bit. What I'll do is I'll do a little line and then try to dab it up and see what that looks like. How about that? All right, but I'll do it over here away from the glare so you guys can kind of see. All right, let's do like here. So if I wanted to do the lines, I was kind of thinking doing the line like that, kind of creating a shadow. All right, see how dark that is? That's too dark. And then I don't want to smear it either. I guess I'll have to. Oh, look, it's taking it off, but it's also taking off some green, which is weird. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I kind of like the way that looks though, because it looks distressed. So I'm going to try that. I'm just going to go around, and what I'm doing is kind of a shadow on the bricks, you know. So I'll just go to one side like that, and then pick it up a little bit to where you can barely see it. And like I said, it's picking up some of the green too. Okay, there. I picked it all off. All right, now see, that's what that sealant is doing. Okay, so that might not work either. Looks like I may have to. I haven't started my timer yet, but it seems like I may have to put down some clear gesso and see if that will hold it. So I'm going to put some clear gesso down, dry it, and then we'll come back to it. Hold on, I'll put you on pause. All right, so that didn't work. As you see, I put this the clear gesso down, and it smeared some of the watercolor. So obviously, that's not, the sealant didn't work very well. It didn't seal it all in there, probably because it mixed in with the sealant. And so what I was cleaning off was what was on top. But it actually brought out some of the colors a little bit better. So I kind of like it, but I got to figure out something else now. And I'm thinking acrylics is probably the best way to go. Maybe I just let it sit on there a little bit longer to absorb. I don't know, but I just don't want black lines in there. That's the thing. And I don't have a dark gray acrylic. I just have black and a light gray, and that's not going to work. So let's see. I'm just going to put a line down here. Let's see. Can you guys see better without let's do, you know what, actually, because I cleaned off some of this line in here, I'm going to darken this, which would have been this outline. So let me just kind of darken it. Yeah, see, it, even when I paint it, it's coming off. It's not really staying. I don't mind the dark on that though. So I'm just going to let that dry. I'm just going to kind of go like this. Maybe just use my finger to make it look a little bit more splattery. Oh shoot, I forgot to start the timer, but that's because I'm experimenting right now. But yeah, but that should be part of my 10 minutes. All right. So I was able to bring that back, but I just don't know if that's going to stay or eventually wipe off. I'm going to leave it. You know what? I'm going to start the timer, and I'm going to darken up some of these blacks that I kind of lost. I'm going to darken that up and then maybe just do a few of the little lines in there. And then we'll just see what happens. All right, let me start my timer. All right, because I did like these to be bold, to look like it was graffiti. And they're kind of washed out now because of what I just did. We'll just kind of go across that. And I still have to go to work, and I am going to go to work with probably black finger. We'll just see how this Sharpie, because this is supposed to be permanent, so we'll see how this goes. One I should be using. I have a fatter one. Let me use my fatter one for these. That looks pretty good though. That looks pretty good. All right. Yeah. How's that looking there? You guys can see? Yeah. All right. So I like that I was able to darken that up. I just don't know if it's going to hold. You know what I mean? Because I could take the wet wipe and just probably clean it off. I'm not going to try. I'm going to let it sit while I'm at work, and then after work. Okay. So let's try to do some of the bricks. Let me try the fat one and see. I just go a little gentle here. Maybe I'll do the thinner one. All right, I'm just gonna do a little bit against there. Oh, that was too much. Okay, that's all right though. This is gonna be a lot of work here. Oop. All right, like that, but keep some of that color. I don't want to go over all of that. Can y'all see that on the bricks? Barely, huh? Let's see. Yeah, too much. I'm doing it on a light brick so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Actually, I like that because okay, can you guys see what I'm doing here? It's actually looking kind of how I wanted it. All right, so I'm going to keep going even if I run out of minutes. I'm just going to finish up the bricks, but you see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of outlining what I see happening is it kind of grips to the edge of that acrylic. So that's pretty good. All right. I just need to clean off my fingers a little bit better. Okay. All right. Yeah, I like that. I like this in here. Maybe if I use a Q-tip, that might be better. I'm not sure if you guys can see what's going on here, but I am liking it, even though it's a process here. I am liking the way it's turning out. All right, I only have a minute left. I'm going to continue doing this off camera. And then hopefully I can get it all done before I go to work. And I can give you guys a picture at least. This is going in the direction I wanted. It's just a process. It's a process for real. Was not expecting it to be this hard. If I wouldn't have used that sealant, but then I would have had other problems if I didn't seal it, if I tried to use the Stabilo pencil. But I'm liking how it is shading the bricks and also grunging it up at the same time. All right, there goes my timer. I am kind of getting an idea of how to do this. Hold on, let me turn that off. So yeah, so I'm gonna continue going on here. Let me just show you real quick before I end the video. Kind of up close. You see those bricks? That's what I like. I like how you can see. It looks like a shadow, right? I know the glare is gonna, when I take a picture, you'll be able to see it better. But yeah, see, doesn't it look like that really under the brick right there? So that is exactly what I am going for. It adds, I guess, a little bit of realism to my cartoony wall here. But yeah, so I'm going to continue doing this for a while, as much as I can before I have to leave for work. And like I said, I'll update at the end with the picture. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining me today. I'm sorry, but this is actually going to be the last step. And then I'm going to do later down the line, I will do graffiti on it, like my name, and then maybe some little graffiti thingies there. I might even, as Kristen said, she saw a tomato down here, but I might make this a strawberry. So I might actually put some detail in there, make that a strawberry, little things like that. I don't know yet. But I will take you along with me when I do that. Maybe this will turn into a 100-day project after all, and I can do that as part of my 10 minutes later. But first, our goal is to fill the book with backgrounds, Brenda, backgrounds. And then we'll see what we have left over after that, okay? All right. Love you guys. Tschüss.